Normally, the tallest you can make a player in NBA 2K20 is 7 feet and 7 inches because that is the height of the tallest player in NBA history. But with the help of some modding, I have managed to make every single player in the NBA 10 feet tall. And we're going to simulate through an entire season, watch these guys play as well, and see just how different the NBA would be if everybody was 10 foot. So here we are on the roster right now. I'm on all players. And a lot of players actually overalls changed quite a bit. When you get taller, you are probably going to get better, especially I kept everybody's ratings the exact same. So if you're already super athletic at like 5'9" and now you're 10 foot, you might be the most dominant player in the NBA. But starting off here, Kawhi, LeBron, the top two players in the league, they both went up to a 98. So we got a bunch of players over a 95 overall now. I believe Stephen Curry also went up one overall. I mean, most of the point guards did. It doesn't show it in my league here. But when I was actually looking at the roster earlier, quite a few players went up in overalls. But yeah, literally every single player is 10 feet tall. This is going to help the shorter players out quite a bit. Like guys like Chris Paul, for an example, normally 6 foot. Now he's 10 foot. He's even with everybody else on the floor, and he's already great at his height. Now to keep his skill and be even taller is going to be so much better for him. I'm not sure if this is going to affect the centers too much, because obviously they're not as skillful, and the thing that plays a big role in how good they are is their height. So it'll be interesting to see how centers do, especially centers like Rudy Gobert. This roster took forever to make, so if you guys could at least smash the like button on this video, that'd be really appreciated. Let's try to go for like 5,000 likes. That'd be crazy if we could hit that. But let's get right into a season and find out what happens. We'll start off here, simulate to the All-Star game. We are at the All-Star break now, and we actually have the two same captains as normal, Giannis and LeBron, so nothing really changing right there. And our All-Star teams is kind of similar to how it would be in real life. There's nothing too crazy here at all. No other players coming in here that normally wouldn't make the All-Star team. Everything seems kind of how it would be in a normal 2K simulation. Make it to the end of the season, we got Luka Doncic as MVP. It's what we always see in these simulations, and it's the same thing when everybody's 10 feet tall. 31.6 points per game, 11.6 rebounds, 9.6 assists, almost getting that triple, but not quite. Rookie of the Year goes to Ja Morant. Look how big he is in his picture. He is absolutely massive. And Nurkic is going to get 6-man, Kawhi Defensive Player, Doncic Most Improved, and Doc Rivers gets Coach of the Year. So really nothing changed too much from a normal simulation. All NBA teams pretty much looking the exact same. Nobody crazy make it in there at all. A lot of the NBA is pretty similar. Even just looking at the teams that made it into the playoffs, there are a few upsets, actually. If we come over here to the Eastern Conference standings, Raptors are going to be on top. Bucks fall quite a ways. They're actually not the top seed anymore. And then the Hawks and the Cleveland Cavaliers both making playoffs. So the Cavs normally would not be anywhere near in there, but apparently when everybody's 10 feet tall, they're one of the better teams in the East. Same with the Hawks. I mean, if you got Trae Young, the same height as everybody else, that is pretty OP. They also have John Collins and Clint Capella, who are both 88 overalls. Going over to the West, it is the Clippers on top, followed by the Lakers, Jazz, Mavs, Trailblazers. Pelicans end up making playoffs. Does not look like they're going to do so in real life. Warriors and then Grizzlies make it in there as well. Houston Rockets. I thought the Rockets would have been insane because they're such a small ball team right now, and if they had that same skill, but it's just equal with height, I thought they were going to go crazy in this simulation, but apparently not. I thought Harden and Westbrook would have been super good. I was actually really interested to see how they do in the playoffs. Nuggets don't make it in there. I guess right now they do have a pretty tall team, so with everybody the same height, it actually gave them a disadvantage. Thunder and Suns didn't make it in there either. I thought the Thunder were going to do great. I thought the Suns were going to do great as well. It's a little surprising, some of the standings. Warriors, I thought would have been one of the top teams as well with Curry and Clay. But, I mean, things just going so much different than how I thought they would go. Let's come over here to season stats, though. Let's go over to our league leaders. Stephen Curry is the points per game leader, 33.5. Doncic with 31, Trae Young with 30, LeBron with 30, Devin Booker with 29.6. So many players getting close to those 30 points per game. A lot of players scoring very well. Rebounds per game is going to go to Joel Embiid. So surprisingly, still a bunch of centers for rebounds. I thought some other players would have gotten up there as well. It just might be the 2K simulation that messes things up a little bit, because I kept everybody's attributes and everything like that. LeBron gonna get the most assists per game. Steals per game goes to Kawhi. Blocks, Rudy Gobert. Field goal percentage, we got Ben Simmons. 3-point percentage, Tobias Harris is actually up there. But honestly, most things just staying around the same as the normal NBA. So nothing too crazy at all. But I'm just gonna simulate to the NBA Finals, see which two teams make it in there. We'll actually get some gameplay in there and just see what it actually looks like with 10-foot players playing in the NBA. So in the West, we got LA versus LA. In the East, Boston versus Milwaukee. Nothing crazy there at all. And in the NBA Finals, we got Clippers versus Celtics. Game 1 goes to the Clippers. Game 2 goes to the Celtics. Game 3 goes to the Celtics. Game 4 goes to the Clippers. Game 5 goes to the Clippers. Game 6, the Celtics end up taking it. So we are going to a Game 7 in our 10-foot player NBA. And in Game 7, Boston up by 11 points. Clippers still have a chance to come back here, and look how big everybody is. Like 4 players take up the width of the court. That is crazy. I mean, if everybody just spread out their arms, it'd probably only take 3 players and they'd cover the entire width of the court. This just looks ridiculous though with the height of the players. Look at everybody on the bench as well. There's no way those tiny chairs can fit all those guys. They need the social distancing like in the bubble. A big block by Joakim. No, it's a goaltend. How is that a goaltend? That made no sense at all. Here we got Lou Williams. Mid-range shot is good to go. The court is just so crowded. I mean, if everybody was 10 feet tall, they probably would just have to make a bigger court. Here's Tatum inside. Like, their hands glitch out when they hit a certain height. I guess there's like there's a height cap in this game. So when you reach up, the hands just get glitched out. And Lou Williams just ran straight out of bounds. These players are just running into walls and stuff because they're not used to how tall they are. Let's see what Lou's gonna do. That's a brick. They don't even have to jump for the boards. Here's Kemba from 3. You can pop that. That's not even a 3. If you're 10 feet tall, that's like a layup from the 3-point line. I bet these guys could dunk. It's probably not in the 2K animations, but I bet these guys could dunk from the 3-point line. Jaylen Brown from 3. Like look at that. That's not a 3. That is a layup for these guys. It's so close. Lou from 3. He can't hit that though. Kemba just gonna run the timeout here though, and Boston is gonna be our NBA champions, which is not too crazy. I mean, that could happen in real life. The Celtics got a solid team. What is wrong with that guy's arms? That dude's arms were inside of him. Everybody else is normal, and he looked like a T-Rex. I can't pause the game. I wanted to pause the game and check that guy out, but look at them compared to the coach. They're shaking the coach's hands, and he's got to reach up. Brad Stevens just looks like a tiny person compared to these guys. Oh, what is wrong with their hands? Why is that happening? Why is he doing that to the trophy? Gordon, was that Gordon Hayward doing that? I think Kemba won Finals MVP. I can't tell because his hands are so high. That champagne bottle is just tiny. I don't even know what they're holding at this point. Just none of this stuff fits in their hands at all. Can't even see their faces. There's Brad Stevens next to them. Lou Williams with 37 points in game number 7. That's pretty crazy. Kemba Tatum with 28. I think it was Kemba that won Finals MVP. We'll just make sure here. I'm like 99% positive it was Kemba. Yeah, Kemba winning it. He's a 90 overall. 23 points per game, 5.3 assists, 1.3 steals. No crazy stats or anything like that. He shot really good from the 3-point line though. But that was the NBA with 10-foot players. I mean, that was just a little fun thing to do. If you guys want to see it the opposite with like 4-foot players or 3-foot players or something, I know there's a point at which the players are just pretty much unplayable. But I could make everybody in the NBA a lot shorter as well. Let me know by smashing that like button. Let me know you like this video, and of course comment what you want to see next. This has been your boy Smequle though. I'll see you next time. Peace.